Greetings and welcome to my final presentation, Introduction to ComaQuest, Exploring a Virtual Reality Learning Environment for Comets. So, a basic overview of ComaQuest and why I chose this particular way to do my final project and do this lesson. I really enjoyed the section on the virtual reality platforms and learning environments. Basically, it's designed to teach proper grammar usage in sentences, making learning engaging for developmental students in English Composition 1. And when I say developmental students, KBOR has just come out with a new requirement. I no longer can teach developmental courses just for the sake of being developmental courses. I have to combine them now with regular Comp 1 so the students don't have to pay for any extra hours even though they need the extra instruction. So these courses that I'll be teaching, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but briefly they have a combination of students who could have grammar skills of an elementary school student. They could be learners of second languages. They could be folks that just have not had the proper education coming into our community college. So that's why I kind of got the idea of the game, and this is how I'm going to integrate it into the lesson. So when we talk a little bit about exploring audio and video and the 3D simulations, as I was going through this platform and working to create this, the overall feel of the game feels very retro. And so I have connected text-to-speech to it so that it has narration throughout the game, and then also the limited background music is a live MIDI server that I've connected to that can provide theme music for the game itself. The game as it sits right now is more advanced than the first time we saw it, but it still is a little bit limited, and in order to deploy it for real, I would have to add some more aspects to it. But this gives you a good overview of what the concept is. So, the learning objectives. In ComaQuest, students will learn to identify sentence structures, apply comma rules through engaging challenges, and it'll enhance their understanding of complex sentences in a fun and interactive way. As far as using Claude AI in ComaQuest, Claude and I have a little better relationship now. We were able to get along and move the game a little bit further. I did upgrade my membership, and that seemed to help quite a bit. But there is still a big limit. And I don't know if this is pertinent to the presentation, but for every AI system that I looked at, the biggest challenge is having enough time with the AI engine. Claude has a limit. All of the other ones have limits. Even if you're a paying subscriber, there are limits on your usage of it. You can't just keep spamming and spamming, correct this, what am I doing wrong? Because you'll get to a point where the AI says no more, and you can't, we won't answer any more questions until, this date or 10 o'clock at night. So anyway, used a little Claude in getting this done. Deployment of ComaQuest. Initial launch, the platform is accessible to students online. User engagement, they use their virtual reality learning environment for learning, and then continuous improvement, ongoing updates to enhance the user's learning experience. So let's talk a little bit more about the target audience. Our community college, the first class that they usually take, we have when they get here, is going to be Comp 1, and some of the students do not qualify for regular English Comp 1 based upon KBOR qualifications. So they are put into a class called Comp 1 with Assistance, which is what I teach. In fact, I taught it for the first time this summer, and it's very challenging to teach because not only do I have to go through my regular Comp 1 stuff, but I also have to cram in a semester's worth of grammar that I used to teach to a separate class in combination with, so that the workload is doubled. So I'm looking for ways to help to alleviate that burden a little bit, and virtual reality learning environments may be the way to do that if I can find a common platform in order to do that. And so that's what I'm attempting to do with this. So, lesson structure overview. Basically what I'm going to do with this particular lesson is I'll give an introductory video to kind of capture the attention of the users, and then give them the standard lecture about comma usage. I'll introduce them to the game, to the assignment, and our buddy Sage Syntax will guide them through for essential rules. The game has interactive grammar scrolls for hands-on learning practice. The cabin is an immersive environment for exploration, and there are a few multimedia elements that can enhance the learning experience. They can walk in, they can look around, they can talk to Sage Syntax and get tips if they need them. Multimedia strategies in CommaQuest. Audio integration. I told you about the text-to-voice narration. Visual learning. The instructional videos will provide clear examples of sentence structures. The game itself has graphics, and then of course we have the interactive simulations. The 3D simulations allow students to practice grammar in realistic settings. So the pedagogical theories that we used in CommaQuest. Instructivism, students build knowledge through hands-on experience. Situated learning, the learning occurs in context, allowing students to engage in real-world applications for common usage. And then interactive engagement. The immersive design promotes active participation, enhancing retention of the grammar concepts through fun little challenges. Future improvements. There are a million things that I want to improve. Claude and I discussed a different way to do the sound. If I want to, I can record individual tracks. I can bring in sound effects. I can customize the game a little more, and then a heads-up display to enhance the user experience. I've got a really basic one in there now, but that we'll take a look at here in just a second. But it'll help them to progress and understand their learning journey in real time. So that's essentially my lesson for CommaQuest and its associated components. But we'll take a few seconds here just to look at the final product, if I can find it. Hold on just a second. CommaQuest. Okay, so you enter the cabin, and Sage Syntax is over here. He's got his little hat, he's got his little magical staff, and you walk around the cabin. Let me click on the
Greetings,
narration.
Brave Grammar Guardian. I am Sage Syntax, your wise guide in this punctuation quest. Audio narration is now enabled, and I shall speak to guide you through your comma correction adventure. Click on me anytime for grammar wisdom, and watch as I come alive when speaking.
Okay, so that's Sage Syntax. The directions on how to play are over here to the left. It tells us to look for the glowing objects, the 3 scrolls. I could probably hide those better, and I probably will. And then you've got chairs to sit on to be interactive. There are tables to sit at, and I did fix the sit on the chairs and do the tables thing, so you can sit down. Now you can get up. There's a window and a skylight as well. But let's take a look.
Excellent discovery,
Okay,
Grammar Guardian.
All right.
You have found scroll number 1.
Okay.
This scroll contains a cursed sentence with comma errors. Let us examine it together and restore proper punctuation.
So you've got 4 choices here to kind of figure out exactly what you need to do.
Not quite correct.
Oh, look,
my
I
student.
missed.
Let me provide guidance. Use a comma before but when joining 2 complete sentences. Consider this rule carefully and try again.
Alright, so I missed that one.
Excellent discovery, Grammar Guardian. You have found scroll excellent work,
Okay.
Grammar Guardian. You have correctly identified the comma placement. Use a comma before and when joining two independent clauses. The corrected scroll now rests safely on the correction table. Excellent work, Grammar Guardian. You have correctly identified the comma placement. Use a comma after introductory dependent clauses. The corrected scroll now rests safely on the correction table.
So that is CommaQuest in its most basic form. Once you get all three of those right, you click on the door and it tells you how great you are. But like I said, it's a work in progress, but we're still working on it and we're having fun doing it. And that is my presentation in a nutshell. I look forward to deploying something similar to this to see if it works, to see if anybody even has any response to it, and hopefully that will lead to further immersive games in my class.